develop it. Okay, these skills you have to do what? Develop them. So what are the factors that will enable entrepreneurship as a skill in you to develop, so that you may do it according to the principles required from this unit, entrepreneurship education? Number one, can you list them? Economic development. So when we talk of economic development, we are looking at factors that affect the economy, okay? Factors that affect the economic environment. These factors, like what? You know, when we are talking of money, yes.
Like capital.
Capital. If you don't have capital, remember that small scale business person, we said it's small scale because he would like to do something big, but he doesn't have capital. So he begins with what he borrows from where? Family and friends. So if you have capital, if you would give people capital, they will tell you will see great business ideas emerging. People have business ideas, but they don't have capital, right? They don't have capital. If you are doing chapatis, you wouldn't want to do some 20, 30 chapatis. You just want to do a whole bale. Inaitwa bale. Yeah. Mpaka ile mashini ya kupika chapati unaanza kuuliza bei yake. Kununua. Because hii kufanya hivi utafanya a whole bale mara mbili. Moja asubuhi, moja jioni. Si huko utaumia na hiyo moja. So what people want is capital, okay? Another one is labor. Labor. How will you source for labor? Sometimes you want to do something, but you don't have labor. You don't have how to pay for it. Manpower. It's money. So sometimes you decide to do it alone. And doing it alone will not be as effective as if you have brought in people to help you weed those 2 acres within 2 days. If you want to weed 2 acres, one person, it will take you long, even a month, right? Or even over a month. Depends with the condition of the soil and the crop. If it is sugarcane, najua tu vile mewa na joto na jua, huwezi fanya paka mchana. The other thing is raw materials. Raw materials. The raw materials you are using, where do you get them? How is their supply affecting you? Raw materials. The other one is the market for your product. Market for your product or your service. Is there a market? Right? In other words, is there demand for it? Let me ask, if you're producing a product and there's no demand for it, what happens? Huh? Or the demand is low. How will that affect your business, your product? Number one, it will affect the price. They say the higher the demand, if the demand is high, the price will be high. If the demand is low, your price will have to be low. Or else somebody will leave you and go where the price is. Right? And vice versa. So, market matters. You can be producing something which has no market in that place. Will that business be viable? No. No. Then infrastructure. Infrastructure are the things that enable movement, like roads, communication. How are you going to get your raw material from Cape City to here? How are we getting these eggs that we are selling here from Uganda? How do they safirisha those eggs from Uganda to here. The way eggs are delicate. Wewe unatuma tu mtoto eggs kutoka kwa hapa shop na anafika kwa nyumba kama mbili imevunjika. And these eggs are coming all the way from Uganda. How are those fish coming all the way from China to here? Kama bado ziko sawa. Infrastructure. You must check on that. The other one is culture. Culture can affect your business. Culture can affect you as an entrepreneur, right? You are doing something which in that place, maybe the culture of that place. Can we give an example? Can we find a few examples? How culture can affect your business? Give the microphone. How can culture affect your business?
An example of a business that can be affected by culture.
Yes.
For example, selling pork meat in a
Yeah.
Muslim flooded area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Selling pork in a Muslim area. They'll stone you. They'll not buy. Even running a butcher. Do you know that all these slaughterhouses, these cows for these Muslims to buy them, they have to be slaughtered by a Muslim. Whether it is in Chemelil, wherever, Muslims they wanna slaughter you. If they don't, they'll not buy. So you take you open a butchery and you say you want to slaughter your own, and the Muslims are there, they'll not buy. Another culture, another way culture can affect. Joseph told his brethren in the Bible that when Pharaoh asks you, what do you do for a living? What is your occupation? What will you answer them?
You are shepherds.
That we are shepherds. Why? The Egyptians were worshipping cow. So they hated the shepherds for beating the cow, milking the cow, slaughtering the cow. So they would be taken far to a place called Goshen, which was very fertile. And that was the secret why they increased, because the place was very fertile and they were away from this, so that these people would not monitor what they're doing. So when you are doing business, you must understand the culture of the place, and also business has a culture, right? Business also has a culture. I want to ask that you want to begin to sell daga, otherwise locally known as omena. Can you go and can you leave from this place and go and buy daga? Will you buy, Diana? Can we give you money and you go and come back with the daga?
Repeat.
Yeah? From the shore, from the beach.
From the
Yani kulet from the lake.
No.
Why? Are there no daga there?
There are, but you must have somebody. Connections.
You must have a connection.
Yes.
Now you are saying it in a sanitized language. You must have a man. You must be given a man there. As a woman, or else you will not. Ask Michael. He comes from near the lake. He will tell you. So you see this business of daga. If you come here and you don't understand the culture, you will not sell. You will go there with enough money and you will see them like this, but you'll never be given. Until you have a man who also knows the beach leader, who says, okay, Patianya AWASI. How many? Nataka sacks big. Okay. Culture. Another thing that will affect your business is what?
Education.
Education.
Technical development.
Technology or technological development. Okay. Like for today, we are learning online. There are those who still have to go physically to the campus. Are we ahead or not ahead?
We are ahead.
Angaza tuko mbele. Because we are putting technology to work. So we can reach our students wherever they are. What they need is just to have a phone which you can link up and enough power in the battery. And there you go. With the timetable, you know at this time which class, there you go, you will learn online. And you will graduate when others are graduating. So your business, technological development will also affect your business. Some of us, we have businesses and you don't even do any advertisement on Facebook. Those grilled windows that you have welded, just display them and have a photo. Go to WhatsApp, go to photo poster maker and make that and say your name and the contacts. And also display some that you have made. Somebody will look at that and will say, this is the kind of chairs I wanted. And this man is just near us here, in AWASI, in Bondo, in Kombewa, in Bungoma. Let's go and check him out. Right? Advertise. Kama waganga ndio unasikia wana advertise paka kwa TV. Huwezi ona news kama mganga hajakuja hapo mbele ana advertise. Kwa radio wana advertise. Surely, why can't you advertise your business? Technological what? Development. So embrace development. Embrace technology. Embrace technology. Don't just say you don't want to develop technologically. You don't want to learn new things. That's why you see even in the Google Meet and Zoom, you see a lot of challenges. Somebody has not muted their speaker, they piga story hapo na wenye wako class wanasikia. A lot of echo. That's because we don't want to learn. Let us embrace technology and move with the technology. Right?
Yes.
What is the other factor? What?
Education.
Education. How will education affect your business? Can somebody try? How will education affect your business?
Education can affect my business when there is a language barrier. Maybe I'm used to talk to kwa Kijaluo and other customers are fluently in English ama Kiswahili.
Yes.
Then it will affect.
Very true.
Because there will be no right communication.
I agree. Even when we run our services and we just want to preach in our local dialect, just want to sing songs that other people who are not of that tribe, they just see people stand, people laugh, People begin to dance. People jump. And they don't understand what is going on. That's because we are in love with our own language. All right? It affects. Will that person come to the next service? They'll go where they can hear what is being said. Right? Yeah. So, education. You somebody once you are running a business in a cosmopolitan place where we have different tribes, and you insist on speaking in your own language. Unaambia huyo kwa lugha yenyu, hii ndio lugha ya taifa, we nipatie pesa hii na isikii. And you insist tomorrow ataenda mahali anaongeleshwa kwa lugha ambaye. Continue. Also the way your level of education will also determine the way you relate. The way you relate with customers. Madam Grace wanted to say something.
Yeah, when it comes to matters of arithmetic and all that, also it needs some knowledge, because somebody who did not go to school, you cannot know even how to give balances and all that.
Yes.
Yes.
Can give more, or you can take less, or even can get fake money and they don't know. He doesn't even know today how much is a dollar against the shilling. He still want to buy at 100. And you're telling them, no, I'm selling you at 130. $1. They're saying, no, I'm buying, we used to buy at 100. So we must be educated. The other factor?
Political factor.
Political. That one goes also with government. Politics and government. Changes in the policies of government will affect your business. All right? When they say that they are going to tax churches, will that not affect the churches? Right? When they say now, all these animals that we domesticate, including the cat, you'll have to be paying for it. Then like your cows, they come and count. Then they go to the goats. You also have sheep, and I also show you the chicken. I show you with a cat or two and a dog under the tree. Now you got to get ready. They'll come with a checklist. How many dogs? 2. At how much each? Let's say 200. Only 400. Pigs, 500. Camel and all that. Will it not affect your business?
It will.
It will affect your business. Okay.
Yes.
What about taxes? When they go high, it will affect your
business.
Your business. Politics. If there is a hostile environment because of politics, there are some goods that will not go to a certain place. Right? There are some goods that will not come because there are politics. Naambiwa mahindi sasa haipatikani kwa sababu wenye wanaleta mahindi wameshikilia mahindi. Okay? Maziwa would not come. Right?
Yes.
What about other products that can be affected by politics? Can you mention a few? How politics can affect your business?
Even the goods that are coming overseas.
Yes.
When there is hostility on the ground,
Yes.
even their government will stop them from traveling, and they are told to stay.
Very true. Very true. What about when the government in place is not friendly to the government overseas? those people say we are no longer doing business with the government of such and such
Yes.
a nation.
Yes.
We don't do business with them.
Mm.
And you see how it affects, and even how it has affected our nation.
Yes.
Just by one word from a powerful nation that no, we are not doing business with the Kenya. Right now, a lot of investors skip because our taxes are high. They are going to where? Tanzania,
and
Rwanda.
Uganda. Yes.
Somebody wants to come and begin some business. Even when there is, let's say, elections, and the elections are not taken to be balanced, people close business.
Yes.
Why? Utaporwa. Yeah, they fear the repercussions. Wanafunga biashara mpaka baada ya nini, elections, hata 2 months, ni unaona mtu amekuja amefungua mlango moja. Siku ya kwanza anakaa tu around tu akisalimia, huko niko tu. Na kwa nini hujafungua? Nataka kusikia. Nataka kusikia watu watu wakimwambia kwa nini hujafungua? Wewe fungua. Hakuna kitu, fungua. Akisikia anaanza na tu vitu chache chache. Wengine before elections wanafunga vitu, wanasafirisha. Because you lose.
Yes.
Wengine, and when some businesses, when they close, the locals suffer because the locals don't produce them or don't sell them. Vitu kama simu. You find very few locals do that business.
Yes.
So when politics, that is why there should be a stable government, because when there is stability and peace in the nation, then goods and people and the services travel safely from one corner to another, and you'll be able to sell. You are able to sell. What about the other time? You could not go beyond saa 12. Nasikia siren, watu wanafunga. Bio, watu wanaenda nyumbani. And maybe your business is hiyo ndio inaanza. So it affects politics and the government. They affect even advertisement. Amen. Advertisement. You know, going live preaching for 30 minutes in one of these big media houses like ATN and NTV. Do you know how much it costs? It will cost you not less than 150,000. 150,000. So you see, people who are running their own stations, in taxes they use a lot of money per day, close to 2 million. That's why you can see these other stations coming up. They have reduced, they have helped reduce. You know, sometimes you just want to be seen KTN. Be ready to pay. Advertisements there run for around 30 seconds. Huh? That's half a minute, eh? And what you will pay? A lot of money. These billboards you see besides the road. These billboards, unaona wameandika hapo kubwa to advertise here, call this number. Eh? And you see them empty. You will pay over 170 to county government for advertising there. That's why you see them empty. Now ukiwacha ile live, like when you get to Kisumu at the roundabout, hiyo yenye sasa iko live hapo kwa hiyo, don't talk about that one, is money. So these things they affect business. Sasa wewe hiyo pesa ndio ulikuwa unataka for capital, let alone advertising. It will affect you, right? Yes. The other one is what?
Legal factors.
What do you understand with that, legal? You know, every business has to be legit. Okay? Register your business. Have the legal papers so that you are not in trouble with the authorities. If you do business without legal papers, you will be affected. So when you want to do an enterprise, first of all, you check on the legal papers. You register your business. Register your business. Go to social services and ask what it takes to register the business you want to do. Right?
Yes.
There are some tenders you cannot be given if that business is not registered. You can also apply schools if you don't register a business. And some of us don't know that registering a business is just a 2-minute thing, and then you go and pay. Just come up with a name, let it be checked if there is a name like that, pay the money, and have a business that is registered. So when you are going to fill tenders, like in the schools and the companies, they'll ask you, you'll even see them ask you, what is the name of your business? Are you the sole owner or it is a partnership? What is your location? And then do you pay KRA and all that? Then they will pass. If not, you cannot. That's why we have people who are very good fundis. Wamejenga miaka mingi. But you see people who are not even fundis. Ndio wanaenda wanapata sub, wanapata contract, alafu wanapatia huyu. Sasa yeye ndiye anapata pesa. Wewe uko na malori, uko na kujua kujenga, but you are not registered. Sasa unamfanyia. Sasa huku analipwa 3 million, naambia hata watu wanafinya watu. Sasa hii 1.5 million tutagawaje? So you are talking of 1.5 million, while yeye ako na 1.5 million yake. Just because you have not registered the business. I don't know. Is your business registered? Or the one you want to begin, is it? Will it be registered? It should. There are things you cannot access. There are government money you cannot access unless you are registered. Hata loans. That's why unaona people come together kwa chama circles. Eh? Yes.
You can't access a loan without business registration.
Yes. So people register a microfinance, then they go and get fund, trust fund, big money. Then they come and now they give you in bits and you give back in interest. They get their profit and go pay back the loan they took. Oh, those are how things behave. Like Kenya women. Kenya women is not a micro, it is a trust fund. It is a fund, okay?
Yes.
What else have we not checked on? Capital.
Yes.
Capital. How can capital affect your, how is it a factor affecting entrepreneurship? Tumeongea sana kuhusu capital. If you don't have it, even a good idea will not be implemented. You have a small capital, you'll have to do small business. Right? You have to do small business. You know, like now, there are parents who are looking for where to settle their children for daycare. Unatembea upati. Pengine utapata kama ni mingi ni 3 katika hii hours. Right? But it's something that somebody can run. You get a good place, you get some toys and a safe place, so people bring you their children with the things they need. You charge them per day. But now capital, right? So capital is a factor. There is a business you have never begun because of capital. Hata ndio ulikuwa unasema ukipata tu like 800,000. That's what you were saying yesterday. Nikipata hii yani leo nishike kama 500,000. Unaona tu hiyo business reception hapa. Watu wakishakuwa injected wanalala hapa. You know, kuna wakati I was thinking of I was writing a business proposal ya mortuary, okay? So I did some research. So nikapata hata mtu akaniambia you don't need a big room for mortuary. Just need even like a small room like this. Nikamwambia na hiyo utaweka. Hata unaweka kama watu wamesimama. Maji inatiririka chini. And I asked it, is it working? Yeah, akaniambia yes, it is working. The places where people are put like that. Unajua mtu mwenye ameshakufa hawezi simamisha tu hivi. Maji ina. So nilisikia mambo mengi. Ukiona mtu ameanzisha hata kama mochari, amefanya research. Ameandika business proposal. Now, we have looked at, did we look at social factors? You can add social factors. Social factors. Actually, from the word society, that's where we get social. Social factors. These ones will affect your enterprise greatly. That is the social environment, and they include like family background, attitude of the society, like you go to, well, people don't believe in settling, like the nomads, the Maasai. Nataka kujenga kitu na wao wako hapa hii month, the other month wako you the other side. Huku watarudi after 6 months or 1 year. Hata wa shule yenye nakuanga huko nasikia wanafanya mtihani, watu wanatafutwa watafuta wherever they have gone. Attitude of the society, cultural values. Like initiation rites, where people pass from childhood to adulthood, right? There are societies that are affected immediately. These people come from the initiation rites. Because some of them, once they come from initiation rites, they believe now they are adults. If they were students, you can no longer detain them. Worse, if you're a female teacher, they now believe no, a female cannot stand and talk to them. They see a female, they see a wife. Yeah? It affects them. They are from there. They need to marry. It affects their school, their education. It affects, if it was business, it will go down. So this will affect your enterprise. Hallelujah. Now, in conclusion of what we have covered, the distinction between entrepreneurs and business persons, we have also looked at how to identify types of entrepreneurs. Do you remember we had around the 6 or so types? One of them was imitators. The other type,
Innovators.
innovator.
Small scale.
So,
Small scale.
small scale.
Scalable startup.
Scalable startup entrepreneur.
Large company.
Large company like Microsoft.
And social entrepreneurs.
Social
entrepreneurs.
The ones that still look at a problem of a society and do what? Want to solve it.
Yes.
Right. Those were the types. And we also looked at ways of how to, we identified how to become an entrepreneur. And we have just looked at the characteristics of entrepreneurs. And I believe those characters, you are going to apply them, you are going to develop them. Right?
Yes.
And we are just concluding with exploring the factors that affect entrepreneurship development, which means it is something that you don't say you have reached, you develop it. It is something that you don't say you don't have, that you cannot. No, it is developed, right?
Yes.
You can put all those to work and come up with principles that will make your entrepreneur or enterprise succeed, okay? A principle is a law that works if it is applied, right? It is a law that works, whether it is applied by who. Amen. If I throw this pen, it will come down. Why? There is a principle of what? The law of gravity that wants to pull everything that leaves Earth to come back. Even you, if you go on prayer for 40 days and go on top of that mountain and say you want to fly from there to the field there, you will come down very fast despite having fasted. Because the law of gravity is a principle that does not take care whether you have fasted and you want to fly. There are legions who have done like that from the stones of Sheme there, and they are fallen down because they thought that now they can fly. They'll come down. A principle works when it is applied. It doesn't matter who applies it. So these principles of entrepreneurship, if we will apply them, then we will improve and we will succeed. Remember, our core focus is practicality. We are not dwelling on theory, but on practical. Right. I want to almost stop there. Our timekeeper, how much time do you have? We are beyond the time. Okay. Fine. We will stop there, but ask if there is any question, something burning, a clarification that you would want us to clarify. Right? If none, write these questions. Number one, which of the following is not a principle of entrepreneurship? Which of the following is not a principle of entrepreneurship? Please write. Those who are following online, we are taking down these questions. And we will mark them. So which of the following is not a principle of entrepreneurship? A, accountability. B, flexibility. C, vision. And D, laziness. You will choose which one is not a principle of what? Of what?
Entrepreneurship.
Of entrepreneurship. Raise your voice. Number 2, which of the following does not affect entrepreneurship economically? Question number 2. Which of the following does not affect entrepreneurship economically? Gani kati ya haya haidhuru biashara kifedha? A, infrastructure. B, education. Which of the following does not affect entrepreneurship economically? A, infrastructure. B, education. C, labor. And D, business. Question 3. Identify types of entrepreneurship. Identify types of entrepreneurship. A, large-scale entrepreneurship. B, identify types of entrepreneurship. A, large-scale entrepreneurship. B, researcher entrepreneurship. Researcher. C, small-scale entrepreneurship. D, medium-scale entrepreneurship. A, large-scale entrepreneurship, researcher entrepreneurship, small-scale entrepreneurship, and medium
Scale.
Medium what?
Scale.
Scale. Question number 4. Identify characters of an entrepreneur. We just learned them a few minutes ago. Identify characters of an entrepreneur. A, passionate. B, risk taker. C, prayerful. Don't laugh, you identify. And D, reliable. Question number 5. Eh? The question was, identify characteristics of an entrepreneur. A, passionate. B, risk taker. C, prayerful. And D, reliable. 6, define entrepreneurship. 5, define entrepreneurship. Define entrepreneurship. Yes. Thank you for your attendance and participation. Our classes come to an end. The Lord bless you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Good.